So BB's up. What's up, BB? He says, "Hi, hey guys. Because I wasn't tuned last week, I didn't clarify myself. Why is it recommended that the super feed has a mix of the money site feed with other authority feeds that publishes new post articles regularly? What difference does it make?" Well, because it creates co-citation. That's why. It's a way to add additional relevancy and to associate your money site with other highly relevant web properties out there, highly relevant content for whatever theme it is that you're promoting, right? So that's why it's kind of a way to create co-citation. If you're not familiar with that, just go search, Google what is co-citation, and you can read some articles about it. But it's also just a way to add relevancy. And here's the thing: when you're creating a super feed with other people's content that's highly relevant to whatever you're promoting, then you go submit those to RSS directories, aggregators, that sort of thing. Then you're going to basically, those RSS feeds will publish your content alongside other relevant content. And so again, it's the feed itself doesn't, well, it does create co-citation in some degree, but it's when you submit that feed is what I'm looking, that was the word I was looking for. Submit that feed to directories and aggregators. Burn a feed burner feed out of that feed, because now Google is aware of it, right? We've talked about this many times. There's what's called a buzz boost embed code. You can use that very strategically with G sites and things like that to be able to squeeze even more power. Remember, we're talking about Google stacking here at all times. That's what we teach, right? So if you can use a G site and a Google feed burner with the buzz boost embed code and create super feeds out of all of that, then you can create a lot of power. And so, for example, with some of the local stuff, now I haven't messed with this in probably a year and a half now, but there's some of the things you can do. We talked about Amazon earlier today, Amazon S3 buckets, but create an HTML page that's super relevant to a particular keyword and or location, depending on whether you're doing local. And then you can add, your own money site feed, plus other related, like for local, which is what I do. You can find local content feeds and you can create a super feed out of that, create a buzz boost embed code out of FeedBurner, embed that into an Amazon S3 page that then you embed into a G site and then just hammer that shit with links with the specific terms, including location modifiers at that point, because now you're in all high authority properties. So you can get super, super targeted, like laser focused in on it, like with the link building and everything else, and see what happens. And there's no direct link back to your money site that way. It's all through iframes, which is what Marco teaches. And it's very, very powerful. So that's what I would say about the super feed. Number two is, I'm sorry, go ahead.
Hang on a second on that, because what we need to make clear and crystal clear is that when we're starting out a new project, we have absolutely no trust and no authority.
Correct.
And we need trust and authority to rub elbows with the big boys. Now, if we have none, then what we have to go and do is go hang out with the big boys. We have to mimic the big boys. Why? Because Google throws you a bone in the beginning. When you start your project, you get a PR1, which they'll take away in the next cycle if you haven't established anything. If you haven't done anything, if you haven't done it right, it gets taken away. So now you're working from zero, and nothing from nothing leaves nothing. So what you need to do is and not only are you looking to rub elbows with these big boys, you're looking to siphon from their trust and their authority. You're trying to create that co-citation which Bradley mentioned, and add to your trust and authority simply because you're mentioned with them. So it's kind of a co-authority and a co-trust along with that co-citation, because you're there and you're being mentioned in the same space as they are while you're working through the SEO Power Shield to build up your own trust and authority, your own seed site, and your own seed set. That's what you're trying to do. And the only way one of the better ways that you can do this is by simply going and building this super feed and borrowing from all the trust and authority that's available by being included in that super feed. That's what's happening.
Yeah, and again, that's what I love about that, like especially with what I mentioned with the the buzz boost embed code, because now you can take that feed and literally embed it into an Amazon S3 page and then into a G site, right? And so now you've got dynamically updated content on that page. I mean, if you're doing your own blogging, then great. But if you've got other local or relevant content sources, preferably high authority relevant content sources, and they're posting too, what's that going to do? It's going to cause the bots to come keep crawling that page because it's like it's seeing new content on a regular basis and it's all relevant. So you build relevancy that way. And like I said, you can get super targeted. I mean, and again, that's what we teach with the theme mirroring stuff, guys, and it works incredibly well.